Well, it's been around 9 days since we last caught up with Hope, our badger cub. So on this beautiful day I'm heading back to Secret World to catch up with Pauline and the team, and I hear they've got some other exciting news for us. So Sarah, things have changed a lot since my last visit. What's been going on?
Yeah, Michael, they've changed quite a bit. So if you want to come through here, you'll be able to see what else we've got since you last came.
I can't wait. Wow, I see what you mean. From a single badger cub to a box full of badger cubs.
These Hope's now been joined by another 3, 2 that came in as siblings from a nest and one little one that was dragged out by a terrier, and unfortunately both of his siblings were killed by the dog. So we've got 4 in here which desperately need feeding now, so Laurie's going to give us a hand because it's a non-stop job at the moment.
So how's she doing, Sarah?
She's doing really well. She's put on huge amounts of weight. She's nearly 700 grams now, and as you can see she's looking like a proper little badger. All her hair's come through, and her eyes are just about open, so she's just starting to see who we are and who's looking after her. So she's feeding ferociously, huge amounts of milk compared to what she was eating, so all in all a fat little badger.
Yeah, certainly looks it.
Come on. Just see how much bigger she is. Just
Absolutely, I cannot believe the change in such a short amount of time.
They grow very quickly, and she's always been a brilliant feeder since she came in. So she's just tucks into her food, and huge weight gain very quickly. But she's 5 weeks yesterday.
5 weeks.
5 weeks old yesterday.
That's incredible. And she's virtually a different badger than 9 days ago. Her character's really starting to come through.
Yeah.
Sarah, Hope came in virtually day old and had no colostrum from mum. So how is her weight comparing with other cubs at a similar age?
Well, she's probably actually on the par with the other cubs that are coming in of the same age, their same development size, eyes open and stuff. So she's actually done incredibly well because quite often they're a lot further behind. But I think a lot of it's just to the appetite that you can see that she's got. And the milk that we first gave her had colostrum in it, but it wasn't maternal colostrum.
Right. Well, that's brilliant news. So Sarah, how long before Hope weans? We say she's about 5 weeks old now.
They wean very, very slowly, so we're probably looking at starting weaning her at sort of more like 12 to 14 weeks, so we've still got quite a long way to go on the bottle. Badger cubs develop really quite slowly compared to other mammals because they don't really come up from the ground till they're about sort of April time, till they're much, much bigger. So we've got quite a long way to go before she'll start taking anything. Her teeth are just about starting to come through, and then we'll monitor that really closely. And then the weaning process starts, which is always a battle with badgers.
I'm looking forward to filming it, Sarah. Obviously these cubs are doing well on the Esbalac. What's the ultimate goal with these cubs then, Sarah?
Well, the ultimate goal for these guys is to get them back to the wild, and actually sort of to start them off in a new territory, a new set, where hopefully they'll start breeding. But in order to get there over the next 6 months, we've got a very rigorous procedure of blood testing, vaccinating, feeding, and a hugely important rehabilitation process to make sure that they're actually behaving and integrating like proper wild badgers.
So Sarah, you mentioned that there's going to be a vaccination programme for these cubs. What sort of diseases are they prone to? Are they sort of prone to other diseases which can be carried by other domestic animals?
Yeah, sadly they're quite susceptible to other diseases. They can contract something called parvovirus, which is quite common in dogs and young puppies. So we do vaccinate them for sort of diseases like that. We also vaccinate them for tuberculosis. And we worm them. They can contract parasites just the other way, lots of domestic animals, so they can get passed around between them. So we just do everything to ensure that they're as safe as they can be before they go out to the wild.
And Hope's looking a little bit dozy after polishing off nearly 50 mils of milk. Now, how long is she going to sleep for before she wants another 50 mils, Sarah?
She'll probably go about 3 hours now before she starts asking for some more. It doesn't take long till they want the next feed.
Okay, so how do we distinguish between a male cub and a female cub?
It's not too difficult because their parts are quite separated. So if you was a little boy, we'd have a little willy in the middle of the tummy here. And with the girls, if you just have a quick look, you've got her little girly bits at the front here, and then you've got her anus there. And actually the big hole at the base of the tail is quite mistakenly, often mistaken as the anus, but it's actually the purple scent gland, which is where they do all of their scent marking from. Most of the time when we start feeding them, they'll stick their legs right up in the air, lift their tail up, and they scent mark before you get them out.
So Sarah, that's got to be good news for Hope, having some company, and it's going to help her social behaviour and so on in the future?
Yeah, it's much better for her because her interaction will now be with the cubs rather than if she's on her own. The only one real people she can interact with is us, because they do need stimulation, they do need play. So now that will all be directed with the other cubs that she's with, and they will start to form a viable group that will hopefully all go out together later in the year.
Well, I can say at the moment it's absolute chaos. We've got badgers squeaking in boxes, we've got badgers running about on guard, we've got badgers scent marking, having their bottoms wiped. It's absolutely bonkers, but saying that, it's quite incredible.
It's a bit manic, isn't it, Lauren? It's like they all start each other off and they just make this phenomenal racket. You can't believe anything that small can make such a loud noise.
So another badger coming in for a feed.
Yep.
We've got two on the go at the moment. We've got one here sat like well, I don't know what he's doing. He's got front legs out, back legs out. We've got this one just about to latch onto the bottle. It's absolute chaos.
It's just the beginning. Oh, he's doing that neck roll. You know when they just go, I don't know what to do. Stop it.
I think we're going to have to get extra rations from the milkman at this rate.
Yeah, an extra delivery a day. Come on then.
Okay, Sarah, so we mentioned the vaccination programme the badger cubs are going to go through. When is that going to start taking place?
Well, the parvo vaccine, we can do the first one as soon as possible when I'm brave enough to stick a needle in them because they just look a little bit little at me. So that will happen in the next week or so. And then at about 12 weeks of age, so in another 6 weeks' time, we will then start their blood testing. We'll microchip them and we'll also vaccinate them for TB. He does, he's a real guzzler.
Feed and sleep looks to be the order of the day, only to be repeated probably in about 3 or 4 hours. Okay, Sarah, so we've got a male cub here, so we can have a good look at the male bits of a baby badger.
Yep, so if you just gently turn them over and you can see in the middle of his tummy, that little bit there is where the umbilical cord will be, and just there is where his boy bits are. So it's quite a long way away from where the girls are.
And again, we've got the scent gland at the bottom?
Yeah, we've still got the scent gland at the bottom.
It really is quite large, isn't it?
Yes, it is, yeah. But it's a huge part of their social interaction is scenting over each other. If we watch them, they pretty much do it all the time throughout the day. They sort of clamber over each other and re-scent just to mark themselves as that new group.
Sort of reinforce the social bond.
Yeah.
Well, I've enjoyed myself again here, and thanks to Sarah and the team here at Secret World. These really are magnificent creatures, and let's hope the government rethink this badger cull. It would be such a shame to start exterminating magnificent mammals like this. So, from a kitchen full of badgers, it's goodbye.